We are there.
We are
Welcome.
live. Are we live?
Yeah, we are live.
We are live.
It
Welcome,
just get
welcome.
super fast live. Yeah, I have a new studio here. As you see, background different, playing around with lights, which means we have some background noise from some fans, ventilators, or what you call that. Yeah, in the new office, which
Yeah,
we also will talk about soon, I guess, but that's not the case today. First of all, greets to
absolutely.
Glasgow.
Indeed. Hello, everybody. I am here as well. We're here to talk about a few things actually this week. It's a birthday party. Someone's having a birthday party. And of course, we're going to have the
First of
update
all,
coming
greets
that
to
many of you are waiting
Glasgow.
for about the Otar Turbo, a project that's coming along rather quickly, I have to say. Maybe a little faster than even we possibly dreamed it would come along, but we'll get to that towards the end of this live because we're going to talk about birthday things first. 15 years old, Andy.
Do I really look that young?
You're looking almost as young as I look.
Yeah, I pulled out my
Neither of
cap,
us look
makes
very
me a little
young.
bit younger. But we are pretty much same age, I guess. Or you're a little bit
We're
older
not
than
we're
me.
not personally.
You're a little bit older
Oh,
than me. But you look
thank
better.
you for rubbing that
Yeah.
in. Ah, that's the
Yeah.
trick. But yes, Horage this
Yeah.
year is 15 years old. So 15 years since the brand itself, the brand being Horage, has existed as a
Yeah.
thing. Obviously, the business and Sue's business is a good few years older than that, but that was what, Andy? That was 2009, I think, that maybe you and Sue had that little brainwave and decided to create a brand of your own.
That was that was longer than 15 years ago. That was 2005, and we are talking about
Yep,
that in our forum uh, in detail. So we are laying out all that history in the next 15 days, using the 15 days as a 15 years reminder that things take a little bit longer than we usually think. And yeah, digging out old pictures and texts which we are actually writing about our history and about the creation. And yeah, as written in this forum post, I'm going to quickly show it up and bring it here. Um, Under the community section, which you see here, coming, community, forum, there should be a post then coming up, and it's kind of the first three chapters, yeah? So we are
absolutely.
breaking it
So,
in three chapters, kind of.
yeah, absolutely. So maybe we should explain what we're going to do. So, as it's our 15th anniversary of the brand existing, we decided to have a campaign called 15, 15, 15. So, celebrating our 15 years, we're going to have a little discount, 15%, that's going to be live for those 15 days as well. And over the 15 days, we're going to be exploring the history of the brand. We're going to do that in a few different ways. Firstly, on Instagram, where many or probably most of you follow us, every day between Christina and Leon, they're going to be posting some historical content, maybe some little videos they've recorded with Andy or Sue or myself or some of the watchmakers, like Lenny, I know, has done one. Some little stories about things that they've done with the brand over the years. And Andy was commanded a few weeks ago to start looking through his photo albums, trying to find all the historic photos that he could. And many of those will begin to see the light of day on social media. Every day there'll be a new little story. They start today and they run through until the 22nd of April. So every day there'll be something new for you to have a look at and find out about as
Yeah.
well. But as Andy mentioned, forum post. Eric, who does our writings for the
Yeah.
forum, he split the 15 years broadly into the early years, the middle teenage years, and where we are today. Today, the first post went live, which talks very much about those first 5, 6, 7 years. and that is what Andy's showing you kind of on the screen now. So that is on our forum. You can locate it by going into the website and get into the community section. And we've posted that both in English, and there's also the Chinese language version as well. So any of our friends in China or Taiwan or any Chinese speaking areas can get a copy of that in there as well. The next one will go live Monday the 15th. Then Monday the 22nd will be the final update to that as well. So please do have a read. Feel free to leave comments, leave questions.
And if you have
We've
pictures,
already
just
had
post them there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. See, anyone who went to an early event, maybe has a watch, maybe has one of the Kickstarter watches. In fact, Andy, I think only in the last couple of weeks, we actually saw one of those early Jonas watches come back in for, I think it's first service.
First service,
maybe it was a few years, maybe a few years late for its first service, but it was still
perfectly fine.
away
I mean,
happily.
these watches are loved and they work perfectly fine. I still remember that we had this technical problem with this first design, that the security on the winding stem was not enough, and then you pull the crown. You know that from the Ether movements also there's a little bit low security, and then pulling out the whole stem and then, oh no, shit, I think we have a big problem.
Yeah.
But Jonas is talking about that also in one of our posts, and we will talk about these kind of things, the little hiccups coming along. And looking back, it's crazy, it's an amazing journey when I think about what we have done all along that, and all the people following us all the time, and being very, how to say, treu in German.
Engaged.
I don't know.
Maybe if you scroll back a little to the Jonas watches that you've got on the screen there, Andy. Yeah, to the three colours that people can see. So all I'd like to say is, before Barbie movies, before pink became a popular dial colour, I think we got there quite a few years ago.
Can you make that a little bit bigger, then you see it even better? Yeah, that one. Pink, white, great, so, amazing.
Not naming any brands, but hey, we did a pink watch many years ago. So yes, even Jonas, the big hard rugby player, he liked a pink watch as well. So yeah, it was good to see that watch come back in. And as you say, Andy, we're going to be talking about our history. And there was tough times, there was challenging times, and we're going to talk about all of those as well, because making watches isn't all roses and amazing times. No. There's some real hard times and some big challenging engineering decisions, people decisions, company decisions, and we're going to talk about all of those because we do like to try and be as open and honest as we can, maybe unlike the kind of more normal narrative in the watch world. But so we were telling where we made a few hiccups along the way.
Recently I heard again, with the watch industry selling dreams. Somehow, I'm not sure we are actually selling watches, and making them is a pretty hard dream. You can wake up sweaty during night, wake up in the morning and say, shit, how are we going to do that? And that hunted us years, since the beginning, and when it all started.
Absolutely.
But it shouldn't be only talking about us. I mean, we also want to make sure that our community has some advantages from what we are doing, and that's why we jump into what can be what's in for you guys during the next 15 days. And I think some people probably saw it already. We already saw people buying the vouchers because they want to get involved, and probably Dave, you explain a little bit what that all is about now.
Yeah, so let's click through these. So hopefully any of you that are registered on our mailing list or on our kind of forums, etc., should have had an email, I believe probably on Sunday, so just yesterday, kind of announcing what we're going to be doing. So the first thing we're doing is a 15% discount voucher. Now, this is something you don't need to do anything. You can just go onto the website, go into the store, and any of the products that are listed in the promotion section already have a 15% discount applied to them. You need to add it to the basket to see the discount. So if you don't see the discount first off, add the product to the basket
And you will
and it
see it.
takes that 15% off automatically.
So that's the regular
That is
buy,
all.
yeah? You go in the shop, you buy a product, and the next
Correct.
15 days, there's everything 15% off.
Absolutely. That
Except,
runs from the
yeah,
8th IE today until the 22nd. There are a tiny number of exceptions, which is pre-order products. So the Otar Turbo, the Otar Small Seconds, and the Tourbillon 2 in Precious Metal, those are excluded because they're already on special pre-order pricing. And you know, we're a company who love to deliver great value products, but we do need to make a little bit of money so that we can make more great
really,
watches.
did you say,
So
who said
unfortunately,
that?
we do it for the good of our
Yeah,
health.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
so that's the only exceptions. Otherwise, all of the watches, including the newer Superseed GMT, Superseed Date, Lensman 1.1, and Lensman 2 are included, and the accessories. So if you've been fancying a rubber strap for your Superseed, or a bracelet, or a different leather strap for your Tourbillon 1, they're all included as well. So that's the first part. Then the second part, which is also exciting, is
So that's what you, do I need
the
to have this
credit.
slide here?
No, I
That
think
you
that
explained
explains
everything
what we
already,
talked
yeah?
about. Yeah,
So
so we can go to the
15%
next
discount
one.
on all, listed promotion sections, okay, valid 8 to 22nd. You need to tell me when I need to shift the slides. We are two people
Okay,
only
next slide.
today, you know, we need to watch this.
We are.
Multitasking,
Next.
I heard multitasking is not a male thing. Someone said.
I'm not too bad sometimes. So the next one is the credit voucher. So what the credit voucher is all about, obviously, hopefully self-explanatory. You can buy a credit voucher that costs 15 Swiss francs each, and you can buy one or you can buy as many as you wish. These are straightforward credit vouchers that you can then spend at any time you want in the web store against any product. But for every voucher that you buy, if you move to the next slide, Andy.
That's a pretty cool thing, actually. And some people already figured out what
Yeah.
to do with that.
They have. For every single voucher that you buy, you get entered into a competition. Now, as many of you will know, we've just moved into our all new manufacture atelier. And when we were moving, we found a few little things hiding in corners. And one of the things that we found was a little number of original Omnium 35 watches. Now, Andy's got a picture he can show you. There we go. Now, these are some watches from
the early days.
Yeah, all brand
Yeah.
new. These are brand new. In fact, they are still vacuum sealed in their little bags. So these are pristine, brand new, vacuum sealed. There are two different versions. There is the black gold dial and there is the brown dial. These we're going to use as prizes. So for every voucher you buy, one entry into the raffle. And we have a total of 30 watches that we're going to give away. Each day, one black and one brown dial. We will pull a randomly generated name of anyone that's bought a voucher. And if your name is pulled out the hat, you will win one of these two watches. And of these two watches, you'll either have the black or the brown. And as I say, every day there will be one of each for the 15 days. Now, to let everyone get a fair chance of buying vouchers, the vouchers went on sale today. The first draw starts next Monday and runs for 15 days through from Monday the 15th, running for 15 days. I think that goes through to Monday the 29th, I believe, is the last day of the draw. The only rules, which are very simple, are one voucher equals one entry. If you buy 10 vouchers, you've got 10 entries, but you can only win once. If your name is pulled out and you win a watch,
You are.
you cannot win another one. So we'll try to make it as fair as possible. But the great news is, even if you don't win a watch, the voucher retains its value. So you can use that voucher to buy something from our website for up to a period of 1 year from the date you buy the voucher. So if you want to buy a strap, or if you want to buy a watch, you can put those vouchers towards your purchase as well. Or if you don't want to use them and you want to gift the voucher to someone in your family or a friend, you can absolutely do that as well. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. You can buy yourself vouchers that you can spend in the store, and you might win a watch as well.
And so if I
Andy, I think you mentioned,
if I get it completely right,
I think you mentioned a couple of people.
yeah, it's interesting to see how actually people are able to play the system. And so if you're now completely, if you're really smart now, you're buying actually vouchers because you anyhow want to buy a watch, then you're buying vouchers in that level, getting a 15% discount because that's what is on now, and you are full entry into the raffle thing. Actually, I didn't think about it that this will happen, but
Exactly, but yes, it has to be said, there's a couple of very clever customers out there who have worked this out. They know the watch they want, they can buy it at the discount, and they've maybe bought quite a number of vouchers in order to then pay for that watch.
So the chance is very high.
The
chance is very high. So it's super smart. I mean, I'm happy that we have such smart customers, smarter than myself, and that's a good thing. So.
Absolutely. That said, don't let it put you off from just buying one.
Because
we have done these kind of raffle style things before, and actually the last time we did it, when we did the charity raffle for the Lensman £1, one of the guys that won a watch there had bought one ticket. So it is all in the luck of the draw, and it is a random draw. So
and it makes total sense, you know. I mean, you can spend 2, 3, 4, 500, and you have a year time to spend it. I mean, it's no rush. There's nothing lost. So I hope a lot of people tell other people that that's worth doing it, and that these watches are rare. Yeah, okay, they are not our own movements, but you know, everybody starts somewhere, and we started with these products, and you know, in the rear here, that is actually. This is a picture from those movements, but not as you see them here, because they were for the gold watches in a very, very early stage, which you can read in our stories. And but basically, it's a 2892 ETA movement, which we got from friends at this time, and we used them in order to make these early watches, and they are nice watches to wear. Nothing to complain here.
So maybe on these watches, you know, a couple of little features. You have a stainless steel case and a stainless steel bracelet, and it's a really nice bracelet, I have to say. I know from speaking to two that a lot of work went into these bracelets. Also, what's really nice, and maybe you can see it on this picture, but if not, check out the website. There's big pictures on the website. The case back has a manual time zone kind of calculator on there as well. So you've got all the different cities and the time zones that you can work out how many hours before or after where you are off of the case back of the watch as well. And another little kind of quirk of this is you've got the date at 9 o'clock, which is obviously a little bit different. Quite often the date placement is either at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or between the 4 and 5. So having it at 9 is just a little bit different. I really personally like the brown dial in this one, but the black dial is also a really nice effect on here as well.
Black gold,
35 millimeters. So it's a sweet spot of a size for many people, and it's a size that I'm sure many of the audience here, 34, 35, 36 millimeter has become quite fashionable as a watch size for both men and women over the last couple of years as well. So I think a really nice potential chance to get a little bit of Horage history. Yeah. So hopefully, I think that maybe explains what we're doing with the forum posts, Instagram, the discount, and with the prize giveaway. Any of you, any questions, please do drop a note into the chat and we will answer. We'll either answer live here now, or I think Sue is also answering questions as well as we are talking. But Andy, should we move on to what probably many people have been waiting for?
Yeah.
And you get to show off your new toy.
Yeah. I have actually, I
So
have more and more toys now, but I not in
yeah.
time managed to set up everything because I need to learn first how to operate all these cameras all together. But of course, we want to
So if
talk
we go
about
to that slide there,
yeah
Andy, Otar Turbo.
update.
Obviously, this is a big project that we launched just at the back end of 2023 as part of our Mission Independence, taking our K2 movement, our micro rotor house movement, taking our tourbillon in-house handwind movement, and combining them to build a micro rotor tourbillon movement. We also then took and looked back at watches. The Otar, a model that has been there in the K1 range. It's in the K2 range now as well with the Otar small seconds, and it felt like the natural watch to use. Andy, your German's better than mine. Autark in German translates roughly as?
Autark is self-sustaining. It's not, I wouldn't say it's really independent, it's kind of self-sustaining. It has a different meaning in German, I would
Yeah.
say. But self-sustaining probably is the right thing. And we choose that name back then because, first of all, it was we wanted to show off the maximum level we can do kind of thing. And yeah, it was kind of a tech overkill. I have one.
There we go. So the watch with the white dial, this is the Autark K1. So this utilizes our first in-house movement, the K1 automatic movement. And I remember you buying this just before you were scared these were going to sell out and you really wanted this one. So yes, you went for this one. Now, in terms of this, that is a grade 5 titanium case and bracelet, but the earlier versions, the K1 versions, used a multi-piece case. For the new generation of Autark, which is being used on the Turbo and on the K2 small seconds, again, grade 5 titanium for the case and the bracelet, but technology has got to a stage where it allows us to make the case as a single piece case in the way that we wish we probably could have made the original back in the day, but it was a difficult task to get there. Also, the bracelet moving to the new style bracelet that first was used on the Superseed GMT, and it also has the new HMAC micro adjust clasp, which is our proprietary micro adjust clasp as well. So what you're seeing here, because we've very subtly just slid it into the picture, is the first 99% complete Autark Tourbillon micro rotor watch, which was only built in the last few days. Yeah, I'm blown away. Yeah, absolutely. It's for I think I may have used that phrase quite a few times, yes, which is please let's under promise things and over deliver. And, you know, we very much had a huge amount of work. And I say we, myself, Andy, especially the engineers and the watchmakers, to make this a reality. And between all of them, with Jonas, with Lenny, Sylvan, all the watchmakers together have really gone over and beyond what we could ask for them. We have a sound problem.
Now,
Andy is
you
muted.
hear me?
Can we hear Andy
Yeah, I
now?
think we can hear Andy now. Sorry.
Let's see if
Yeah,
anyone.
Leon actually
Andy,
posted it. Yeah. But now it should be okay.
Just
Just
checking.
wait a little bit. We have 10 seconds delay from
Um,
I I think now you should hear me. Good
Good
now.
now.
Yeah,
Yes, we're
yeah.
back on.
This internet
We're back.
crazy
We're back
stuff, you
on.
know.
So let's just revise slightly what we said, which was this is the first time people will have seen a complete watch of the Otar Turbo. It's just been built up in the last couple of days. It's 98, 99% complete. We have the first of the sample dials, the sample case and bracelet. I believe, Andy, if I'm right, the only thing that we're waiting on a couple of parts for is to do with the power reserve, which we need a couple of little parts
Extra
to be
wheels.
completed so that the power reserve is, yeah, but all the chronometry in terms of the movement is all up and running. You can see here the tourbillon cage is whirring away quite nicely there. So
I'm
yes,
going
all of
in
that stuff is
more,
done.
more and more. And you know,
Yeah,
please understand what you see is a mega maxi magnification. I mean,
yeah.
in
And this
reality,
is a
everything is
very
much
early
more
prototype.
subtle I mean, it's so big on the screen. It is
Yeah,
the gray dial looks darker than expected, yet better. Yeah, it's amazing, and because of this
well,
uplix, they are giving a little bit of a golden brown hue. Do you call this a hue?
I would say yes. I mean, I think a couple of the guys in the comments have said that they think it's a little darker and, more importantly, better than the renders. And yes, whilst renders are getting better and
Yeah,
better, I agree. It's a little darker. It's maybe got more of a hue or a tint of a kind of brown or a gold in it, very
yeah,
slightly. But the texture is what's blowing me away.
it's crazy.
Trying to render this texture is super difficult. And with the gold hands and the gold edging on the appliques, it does, I think, help bring out that slight warmth in the dial
And
as well. And
well,
also,
sorry,
what
we have
you,
dirt.
yeah, well, that's way,
We
way
have
out.
dirt here. Sorry, let me clean that a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys like what you see first, because I personally was blown away when I
And
first
also
saw
these
these
uplix, you
dials.
know. I mean, look at that stuff. Super
Yeah,
sharp,
and
and at
these,
the same time, then
yeah,
underneath you have this kind of what this texture. I mean, that's electroforming and stamping. Yeah, it's stamped actually.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so we needed to make a tool, and then we have these dots on the side with printing. It's yeah, I can't say.
yeah,
I have to say, pretty high level. So the girls have pulled it off, and I
yeah.
remember the Mr. Granito from Cadre the dial factory, is coming up very early, often in the morning, to our place, discussing the details and also this ring around the tourbillon. It's super hard to make. Yeah, that is difficult.
Yeah,
And sure, yeah, for the first, that was the first sample. We really got very well there. It's
yeah. And we have to please do remember, this is not a finished product. This is the first early
yeah,
samples. So I think if this leads anything, the final product is just going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously, the grey dial does have the power reserve on it, which sits up there at round about the kind of 10 o'clock area. There are, for people who are not so keen on power reserve, other options. The blue dial, which will be coming soon, does no power reserve. Also, you have the salmon, which comes with or without power reserve on there as well. And there's the black dial without power reserve. So there's a few different dials coming. We will have the samples of the different alternative colours over the coming
yeah.
weeks and months that we can share with you as well. This just shows you, though, that really we're now in April. This project launched the back end of 2023. And I think everybody, including Jonas and the watchmakers, we're all super happy. We have our fingers
Yeah.
crossed, but we're super happy how well this project has progressed. Now comes the really hard work, which is perfecting all of the tiny little areas that just need refinement.
Shall I do a wrist shot try thing?
Yeah, let's see it on the wrist. So 39.5 millimeters in terms of the case, just under 9 millimeters thick. I think we're aiming at 8.8 millimeters, but let's say between 8.8, but definitely less than 9 millimeters, and that does include the crystal as well.
So let me see.
This is a great looking watch, and there, Andy, you've not got a huge wrist either. You've probably got similar wrist size to myself. So there is Andy showing it off there. You can really see the Fume effect on the dial under that light. So there we go. I think it's pretty impressive. I really like the look of it. I think as well, Sue will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think we're around about 85 or 87 grams complete. Is that correct? So extremely light, extremely wearable as well, and obviously with grade 5 titanium, a high resistance to corrosion. And if any of you suffer from any issues with metal allergies, again, grade 5 titanium is hypoallergenic, which is going to really make it an easy wear for people. Andy, we've been talking about the dial, and we've been talking about how it looks from the front, but the very early prototype movements that we showed people only were in their raw brass, but I think we've moved on a little as well, and possibly you'll be able to show us what's hiding round the back.
Yep, I will do my watchmaking trick now quickly.
So Andy pre-prepared by loosening the bars for holding on the bracelet so that we could actually give you a proper view of the back. So excuse the screen going black while Andy plays at Watchmaker for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get a look at the back. Obviously, a few people maybe in the comments or maybe listening or watching have also got other dial colours on order. As soon as we get samples of those different dials, we will have them on a live as well. But here we go. This is, I guess, version 2 of the prototype of the movement. So there's some basic plating and treatments being done now as well. This is still definitely not the finished product in terms of finishing. Obviously, we are going to be offering a few different main plate colours in there as well. But you can see that the refinement and the movement is building and developing every day, every couple of days that goes past, a little bit more is being done as well. So obviously the case back on the production watches will have the suitable engravings, the watch name, serial, etc. But bear in mind, please, this is one of the prototypes.
And the interesting thing is you see here our engineering style, you know, we can actually use parts from other movements right now, the black one on the top right, and many other parts, obviously, because otherwise we could never make it that far into the speed. And that is I'm very happy about this kind of thing now, that we managed to get this speed, and that we see that our math and the math we put into it, that the mainspring hardness is correct, that we are getting power reserve as we wanted it. Because at the end of the day, you know, I mean, we need to move a little bit more parts here in that cage. And that is actually draining energy a little bit, but we gain precision on the other hand. And overall, the guessing we did and the calculus was correct, and putting it together, first watch worked, and I took it out already on the snowboard right on the weekend. So
yeah, it got its baptism of fire last weekend on probably the last day of this season that Andy will get out on his board. But it got a bit of abuse on a snowboard, and I think even Sue was wearing it as well up on the mountain when she went up for some coffee when she was watching.
People always said, you Turbo, you need to be careful, you know. And I said, no, you can take that out on Ironman. Yeah, it's proven already. We don't make watches for the safe, we make them for the wrist. That's a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a pretty big update, you know. Yes, we have a first 90 9% complete, but certainly from a chronometry point of view, it's complete and running, and everyone can get a look. Now, what I would say is, as you know, the very early launch of this, there was a price, and every week the price increases by 100 Swiss francs up towards the final retail price when the watches are due to be delivered. But many of you, quite rightly, maybe have been waiting to think, I want to see what it looks like in real life. I don't want to just buy it from the
Yeah.
render, but now you can see it in real life. There's a whole load of pictures because we've had some really great photography taken of this over the last few days. And we will begin to start pushing those images and final pictures in terms of the prototype out on our social media channels over the coming weeks. So maybe if you've been waiting to see what it really looks like, is it going to actually look like the renders? I think the answer is it looks better than the
It
renders.
looks better than the renders.
Then
Definitely.
don't delay, because if you delay, it just gets more expensive. Albeit, and I say that, the final retail price of just under 15,000 Swiss francs is still, I would suggest, extremely strong value for a micro rotor tourbillon in titanium.
Really?
So it's not to say that our final price is.
No, you know,
Dave,
Dave, the reality is we are cheating, you know, it's a Chinese one.
The number of accusations that are thrown up, you can't possibly make that in Switzerland for that price.
Which, by the way, I mean,
you know,
I have to be, I have nothing against Chinese tourbillons, by the way, and I have great respect, and I had the chance to visit the factory and see how they do things, and it's super amazing to see that they are stepping up their game, and but I have to disappoint the people. Yeah, I mean, we do our stuff by ourselves, and that should be like this because it's a Swiss thing. Yeah, and for sure we have a head start on performance over most of the brands in this world offering a tourbillon. 100% sure, and we intend to keep that for a while, and hopefully more people see that value in this product and come in. And yeah, if you now have I mean, if you do full payment now, you will be also not having to wait so long and line up, because there are a couple of people who ordered the product already, and I hope we can sell enough of them that we can increase our power and do more of this good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fair to say, Andy, something you've said yourself a few times. You know, yes, we're a Swiss company in Biel, Switzerland, but we're very much a multinational group of people. Obviously, my accent maybe gives me away. I'm definitely not Swiss. Andy, you're German
dude.
Sue's Taiwanese. Yeah. You know, Sue's Taiwanese. And even in the watchmaking and engineering team, yes, we have many Swiss watchmakers, but Marcus is German. We have a real mix of different nationalities. And
which is part of our name, yeah? What I would say. Exactly. I mean, you probably wanted to come with that. Buy from the best, yeah.
Correct.
I mean, why should I buy? And that was something I had a problem in the bike business already in the past. That people say, you need to make this from a German guy or from whatever. No. If you really know something about quality and manufacturing and engineering, the first rule should be buy from the best. And which nationality and which passport they have should be secondary, unless it's ethically not acceptable or unless there is a legal issue. Yeah. But basically, we should always look for the best suppliers who can do things in the best way. Doesn't mean the cheapest. Yeah? It's the best we want. And movement components and movement manufacturing is the best in Switzerland. There's no question about that. So there's no reason to go somewhere else. Whereas when you look into cases and other things, there are a lot of very good somewhere spread over the world. And this has been initiated by Switzerland a long time ago. And you have these extended workbenches, and we should use them in order to make good products. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. Which I think is absolutely the way people should think about it. You know, all too often the question is asked, is everything made in Switzerland? I think it would be fair to say there are very, very, very few watches where absolutely everything is made in Switzerland.
I would say
And if it
this
is,
watch.
yeah, the swatch, yeah, the plastics watch.
The plastics watch,
Maybe some of the raw materials
raw
come from
material
elsewhere,
from
but it's
chemical
made.
synthesizing plant or something like this. But I would say this watch is perhaps the only one which I would consider 100% or close to 100% Swiss manufactured, because they manufacture pretty much everything by themselves. And then the others, I cannot, I would not bet on that, because we know, for example, hairspring material comes from, most of the time, if it's watch doing by themselves, but the others who can't do that, they are buying it from Germany. It's called Vakuumschmelze Hanau. There we go, and we are not anymore in the core part. We're talking about the core part, and crystals. I don't know a crystal grower here in Switzerland, to be honest. It's an energy-intensive exercise, so gaskets could be, doesn't have to be. So we should be a little bit careful with this kind of judgment. And this intercultural thing
Absolutely.
is something I'm proud of in general, and it reflects also our name. That's why we are writing in this forum post about our history, how the name came together. Yes, definitely, it is a mix of an ancient historic Latin word, English age, Latin aura, and sounds French. Also, you guys in Glasgow made porridge out of it, which I also like, by the way. We had a lot of fun with the name thing in the past. So
Yeah, exactly. But check out the forum post,
yeah,
because that does go into exactly how the name came around, how the style of the name came around, how the logo looks.
yeah.
So do check out the forum post, because all of that is explained in there as well. So do you have anything else to add, or are we coming to the end of this update for this week?
Beautiful end picture I see here.
Yeah, we have a nice end picture. So there is some end pictures of
All
the
our
watches
watches.
together, I think.
All our
And there we
watches.
go, all of our watches. Yeah, we should announce, from next Monday, we're going to be live every single night.
Yeah.
Every
Drawing
night.
watches, making people happy.
So 15th of April, for every night for 15 nights, we will be live. Some nights we might only be live for 10 minutes to do the draw. Other nights we might be live for a little bit longer if people have questions, or maybe if there's other little updates that we can bring to you as well. So if you're around from the 15th onwards, every day, I believe we're going to do it probably around about 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. CET every night from the 15th. We will do the draw live, and we'll bring you any updates that we've got to bring you as well. So stick those dates in your diary.
Good.
So Andy, I think that rounds us out for this episode, or this live, and hopefully everyone who is entering the competition. If you've not entered, you've got a good few days that you can enter before that first draw, and you can buy tickets or entries all the way up till the 22nd. We close the ticket voucher sales on the 22nd, and then the last week of draws will take place after that as well. But the earlier you buy it, the more chance you have of winning as well. So I think that brings this live to an end. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you for your questions. And we will catch you
Some
again.
questions here. Would be nice to see a side by side of this extra grey dial and the render in the forum. I think I will prepare that for next time. I cannot pull it out right now because I need to arrange 2 windows, I guess. Or let me see. How can I do that? Wait, I think I can do that. Wait. We are not in a rush. I mean,
We're not. What we can do as well is, I'm sure Leon, who is floating around somewhere in the chat, Leon looks after a lot of our social media and our graphics. He will no doubt be able to, at some point, put together a idea in terms of the render beside the photograph as well, and you'll be able to spend as long as you want having a look at it to get an idea of what it feels like.
Wait, I need to think 2 seconds how to do that now.
I'll have a look at any other questions that are in there while you're doing that. So what have we got in the chat? We've done those ones. Yeah, Backwoods is asking, still lacking the platinum rotor. Yep, the rotor you see in there is a standard tungsten one that's in there. Sue's also said that it needs to have the Côte de Genève and the brushing for the next samples added as well. Who else do we got? Jean-Francois is asking about the case back. It's not a pop-on case back, it is a screw-down case back. Same idea as you would see on the Superseed GMT Superseed Date. It doesn't have the teeth marks that you would sometimes see with a castle tool, but it is a screw-down case back on there as well. And what have we got there? Would be nice to see the case back, and Andy's having a look now to see if he can make magic happen with his technology.
Yeah. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We have a window with the actual watch.
Yeah, and now
and then you need to probably go to the website.
Yeah, I need to go to the website. So just not getting nervous here.
No, it's okay. Anyone else in the chat have any other questions that they would like answered?
Okay, I need my mouse here. So, where do you know where I should quickly out of the top of your head find?
If you go to Horage.com, go into the little 3 lines on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Left.
And then timepieces.
I go directly into the timepieces.
Yeah, and then go to Otar Turbo. There you go. And then there should hopefully be, there we go, in fact there's one there right at the front.
Let's see a soldier style. Do we have a soldier?
And we're looking. You might have to go into the store.
Yeah, I think store has.
If you click on the store button, Andy, I'll take you to the store.
Yeah.
Thanks for just joining there, Paul. Thanks for the birthday celebrations as well. But yes, this one you're seeing on the screen, if you've just joined, is one of the very first builds of the prototype with the grey dial.
I think we are here.
If you scroll sideways, Andy, yeah. There we go, there we go. You might need to just zoom the page up if possible. You're wondering, Paul, what we're doing. Someone's asked to see a picture of the grey render beside the real watch. So we're just trying to make magic happen with multiple screens.
Live. Doing that live.
Doing it live, yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yeah, no, I think it's not in the pre-order section here.
Yeah, nope, it won't be in the promotions. Keep going down. Next section.
Okay.
Next section.
Now, here.
There you
this
go.
One,
there. Right, yeah. Yeah.
Shop now. So, now.
There.
Now it should be bigger.
There we go.
And then I can probably screen. It doesn't like, I need to use a small one. Wait, I think here I can, here I can fake it.
Yeah.
Fake it until you make it.
There we go. So yeah, as many people have said, slightly darker than the renders, and also you can definitely see the texture much more clearly on the real dial than you can on the render. But, I think for me, personally, I really like the look of this.
I'm worried that this dial just would have looked matte.
Yeah.
That was, I think...
That was one of the risks.
The biggest concern, I would say. And because that is something you cannot really predict. But now it looks really like, it is real texture. And that's what we wanted to have, yeah. We wanted to have texture there, and yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I hope people watching this and looking at this agree that the in real life, real world dial just has got that bit more character and depth to it than the render, which of course it always will. A render is a render, but the color just for me really
Yeah.
does it. There's a warmth to it, and grey
Yeah.
has a risk sometimes of looking very battleship.
No.
And I think the kind of just a little bit of warmth in the real dial does really help lift it
Yeah.
up. Thanks for that comment, Ted. Yep, I think you're right. It gives it a bit of depth and a bit of kind of real to it.
Cool. We found actually
And
a new way of comparing stuff here.
Yeah, and Backwoods, who asked in the first time round, is saying next time he's going to ask for 3 side-by-side images just to see how much pressure we can put you under.
Yeah, I need to crop. I need to do the cropping thing and stuff like this. But next time I hope I can have another 3 cameras, and hopefully everything works and my computer survives that. But I need to study a little bit because I bought cameras in Kickstarter with AI integration, and we getting into the AI camera voodoo thing here. Besides making watches, by the way.
The only problem, Andy, is you still only have 2 arms and 2 hands.
Yeah, but
trying to operate 27 cameras, but that's where AI.
That's where AI and a smart way of arranging stuff. You know that I did a presentation in Horgenta about how do you actually sell live from a store, because everybody thinks there's a team behind me. No, there's nobody. It's myself. I'm operating everything in front of 4 screens here and sharing the screen with Dave so that he can see what I'm up to next. And that's the way we do it, and it's super fun to do it like this, and that's why we can also go more often online and go out there, and we want to do this more and show the people. And whenever someone has a question, we can do that also in a Skype call, Teams, Zoom, Hangouts, Meets, or whatever you want, and say, yeah, can you I'm interested in a watch, can we probably hop on a call, and can you use your camera and show it around in live? We can do that. That's why we are actually building this studio and this equipment stuff here. That's why I'm playing around with cameras.
Absolutely. So maybe over the next 2 weeks, starting on the 15th, when we do those draws, you'll see Andy's studio developing and growing as well. He has approximately 1 week to master his next edition set of cameras.
Paul Schwarzbaum also here, he said he's coming to terms with vacuum tubes. Renders do not do justice to actual dial. We need comparison with all dials. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will get there once the other dials are coming.
We'll absolutely do that. The grey is the first dial we've received, but when we get the blue dial, the black dial, and the salmon dials, we will absolutely be showing you those as well, and we can do side-by-side comparisons. That might actually be a good forum post topic for the future. We may do comparisons of renders to real-world product. But any ideas that anyone wants us to write about in the forum as well, please do drop us an email, drop us a DM on Instagram if you have any ideas, and you never know, it's always good to get topics and write about things that you guys want to hear about. So if you have any topics or ideas, please do let us know.
Yeah, good. I think we are coming to an end.
Well, I think we've answered all the questions. Yeah, we've answered all the questions, and I think that's it. See you all next Monday, the 15th, for the first draw. If you've not bought your voucher, you've got a week to do it before the voucher starts.
And tell it to other people.
Yeah, tell
everyone.
Brilliant.
The more people in, the more fun we have. Okay. Then I think I need to press that button.
Guys.
Bye.